gonna have to pay attorney fees. But if you file for bankruptcy, all of that shit stops. Like, we've had it where, like, day of, like, hour of, people file for bankruptcy and we have to cancel that sale. We've had, like, the auctioneer being on stage during the auction, and we have people file for bankruptcy, and, like, we have to, like, emergency call people and be like, it's closed. Like, if they filed for bankruptcy, pull the house off the market.
They figured a way out. Get out.
Pretty much. Sorry, my brain stopped working.
No, you're good. You're good. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
You don't know how much you remember until you start talking about it. But like, with bankruptcy, you can like get, I think like, especially with Chapter 7, you can get like, and the court, I think, has to be the one to select it. It's not the creditors. I think it's the actual court. But they can cancel like credit card bills or anything medical. By the way, little pro tip to anybody who's not Canadian or European. So basically, if you're American, if you ever have to pay for your healthcare, always make sure it comes out of your a debit card or your bank account. Never ever use a credit card, because the moment you use a credit card now, they can, if you for some reason can't pay it in the future, they can start because technically you've brought in a quote-unquote third party, so HIPAA doesn't exist anymore. But if you use your personal bank account, and if you can one day just go, I don't want to fucking pay this, they can't take you to a collector's, because then you can be like, you broke a HIPAA violation, and they'll be like, bah. So never ever use a credit card. Always use your bank account, even if you can't really afford it. Because if you can't afford it, just don't fucking pay it. I say, not giving financial advice at all. This is just things that I've heard. Unless you're like me and you're like, I refuse to not pay a bill, and you go and you work overtime to pay off your fucking hospital
It
bill.
theoretically is like that's gonna be like the last like fucking video and a half. It's just gonna be theoretically these are responsible tips.
But how bankruptcy saves you money is the court can essentially go like, hey, you're no longer obligated to pay these, but you still have to pay an attorney fee, because if you file for bankruptcy, you can't do it by yourself. You have to have an attorney do it for you, or a law firm of some kind. And it doesn't cancel all debt. Like, say you have a mortgage, and then you have like 4 credit cards. So those 4 credit cards get canceled. You don't have to pay on those credit cards anymore, so you can start putting that money towards the mortgage instead. But that means your credit's gonna tank. And I think it's on your credit report for 7 years, so like, good luck getting a fucking anything.
Yeesh.
Yeah. And if you ever in a situation where you need to consolidate, what I recommend you do, right? Like, let's say you have 3 credit cards, and you're like, I can't afford these 3 credit cards, this is really hard. Never ever go through a debt consolidation through like national debt relief or freedom debt relief. Don't go through those, because what they do is they'll fight the credit card companies to be like, hey, make a settlement, right? And you'll be like, sure. Eventually the creditor, like the credit company, will be like, sure, yeah, we'll take a settlement. But whatever money you don't end up having, like, say, you know, your one credit card is $5,000 and they'll take a settlement of $2,500. Well, the government looks at that additional $2,500 that you quote-unquote saved as quote-unquote taxable income. So come income tax season, you're gonna have to pay that back. You're gonna have to pay the taxes on that money that you quote-unquote saved. What I recommend people do, theoretically, because I'm not an advisor, is you
important
go to
to
a bank.
say, actually, like literally.
Yeah. Like, theoretically, I'm not an advisor. This is just things that I have seen and heard whilst working where I work.
And like, your situations obviously may differ too.
Yeah, please seek an actual professional with a degree and licensing and like insurance. So one thing that you can do is if you have decent enough credit, even like semi-decent, you can go to a bank. You can go, I would like to consult, because I did this recently for my hospital visit.
Which is like fucked to say, but welcome to America.
Yeah. Well, really just the ambulance ride. And a bunch of
other,
like,
still...
shit, but, yeah. But one thing you can do is you can go and you can be like, hey, I would like to get a loan. And they're going to ask what it is. And you're going to go, it's to pay off debt. But you want to let them know, hey, I want the money deliberately put into my account. Because 9 times out of 10, if you go, hey, it's to pay off debt, they're going to go, oh, it's a payoff, and they're going to be the ones to send the checks to your creditor. And you want to go, no, put that money directly into my account so I can go ahead and I can pay them off immediately myself. That way you don't have to get taxed. However, you're obviously going to have a loan that you have to pay back, but it's going to be like, 5 years, and the payment's going to be like $150 instead of you paying off 5 credit cards for 16 plus years minimum payments, sort of thing. And like, there's going to be interest on the loan, but it's not going to be the amount of like 36.7%, which I think is what most credit cards are right now. Yeah, dude, credit cards are bad. So a little bit of not financial advice, because I'm not a financial advisor.
I do love pasta, like, so I can DM you when I get charged for tax fraud, theoretically.
Theoretically.
Hold on, I wanna take a look at this. What is my what is my credit card? I've had it for years, but I don't use the credit card. I literally the only thing I pay for with my credit card is Amazon purchases, because in Canada we're not able to use PayPal. Let's see.
Credit card I have that I no longer have, my percentage was 39.7.
Does it even tell me?
It will in your statement. So if you go to your statement, it will somewhere. It's depending on the credit card company that you have.
Interest is 20.99.
Yeah.
And do you want to know how much they hit me with on that? Because occasionally they hit me with interest and I don't get why. Because I pay the credit card the same time every month, and yet they still hit me with interest every now and then. It was 4 cents.
Well, so here's the thing. What do you have? How, like, when you pay it, do you like automatically pay it off?
I go in and I go in and I pay it before the end of the month. Because I do it when I pay all my other stuff off. So sometime between the 20th and the end of the month, I will always pay off all of my stuff. Because I don't like to do it automatic, because then if something fucks up, I don't know, right? So I always go in and I know what the numbers that I have to pay for everything is going to be, because it's always the same, because I almost never spend on it. So it's always like the same minuscule little amount on the credit card, and then the amount that I have to pay for like rent/mortgage, however you want to look at it, because that's what I'm paying. And then like phone bill, etc., whatever else, right? It's always the same amount of money. I don't have to count food bills on that, because I'm not usually the one that shops for it. They just take my card. But like, when it comes to like going through and paying it off, the charge happens on like the 11th, so it's only ever like 10 to 15 days generally before I pay it. But they'll be like, okay, so your payment was made on this is literally one from a couple of months ago. Your payment was made on the 11th, but we've charged you interest on the 17th. And then they didn't do that this month. So, shrug. But yeah, no, it's like, also interest of 4 cents is like, who gives a fuck? Shrug. Round up to 5 cents, because Canada. We only do that in stores. We don't do that online. But yeah. Yeah, credit card money
cards.
big.
I no longer have credit cards. I paid all my off, and I refuse to ever get them again.
It's good to have one that you don't use. That's my opinion. And I do actually think I need to raise my debit card limit by like another 1,000. Because when I tried to like pay for my bed, they were like, no.
Yeah, I have it so if it's over certain, like my limit is unlimited, but if it's over $50, my bank will call me and go, "Can we approve this?" And I go, "Yep."
I should do that, honestly. But like I don't know. I should really go ahead and get that sort of set up. Because like even though I'm not like a popular streamer, I still know that somebody could just clone my voice. And it's like, I should probably have it be that they need to, like, call me at my phone number.
Yeah, that's what I do. I have it so they have to physically call. And then they send, like, a thingy to my phone that I have to be like, "Yep, that's me." And then they okay it.
That's me.
That's me. Sadly.
Thanks for the tangent, by the way.
Oh.
It's always interesting to hear about stuff like that.
Listen, working at a law firm,
It was informative. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah.
A lot. I learned a lot by working at where I work. Just fucking hate it. Because I sometimes feel like I'm the only one busting my ass.
You probably are. Like, unironically.
At least in my department. In my department, I definitely am.
And I mean that, like, inoffensively, too, but because, like, a lot of people, once they've been at a place long enough, they just get comfy. And that's not even necessarily a bad thing. I think that, like, people are too obsessed with productivity in certain ends. Like, yours is different, obviously. But, like, I think a lot of businesses are way too focused on being, like, hyper-productive all the time, constantly, 100%. Especially when it's like, it doesn't actually benefit you financially.
Nope.
Like in your case, being like hyper-productive is beneficial.
It literally does.
Sometimes.
It literally pays us.
Like it could, it could be like when you're, not in yours because you're in accounting, right? But like in other ones, it would be more effective financially to be slow because then you're able to charge more. But because you guys are the ones that are doing the work for the guys who are charging more?
Actually, no. Because, so how... Well, okay, it depends on what area of law. Because if it's, like, litigation, yeah, that's how that works. But if it's foreclosure, there are literally steps that you have to do. And you have to get approval from the banks to do those steps. But then, in order to build those steps...
Yeah.
Each bank that is our client, we only have like anywhere from 7 days to 30 days to bill for them. So if they're taking their sweet fucking time and I'm sitting here like, well, this thing's been filed already and they haven't given us the okay to build this thing, we're fucked.
Well, like, an example of it is, ironically enough, the business that I was working in, the phone company shit. Anytime that you pulled up an account, they were being billed. And that's why people were like, I don't want you to help them, I want you to get off the phone. And I'm like, I don't know, I think that's like, if my job is to be an assistant to this person, shut the fuck up and just tank the money, because unfortunately you idiots are the ones getting these calls and routing them to us. But yeah, obviously it's different. If you're working in, like, law, there's billable hours and non-billable hours. There's certain jobs that are billable, and there's ones where it's just expected that you're doing it.
Yeah, and then there's some where the banks don't like to do them because it's non-recoverable, which means the banks can't get the money back.
Yeah.
It's money that the banks have to spend out of their own pockets, which they don't like doing.
Well, no business likes to have to spend its own money on stuff.
Get other people. What I like to watch is when they're like, we're gonna find other attorneys because they think we're expensive, and then they leave and then they come back because they realize why we're expensive. Like, you always come back.
Well, the one time I've ever used an attorney, it was like the most sketch-ass thing, but the guy had been in service, like, for like 30-something years, so it's like, he knows what he's doing, he's just never bothered to get a nicer office. Because
sometimes you don't have to.
It was a guy that was working in like one of the like kind of sketch areas in Oshawa. And I went into his office, and it's like, it looked like the type of office that you would see on, like, a Sopranos episode. Like, it looked run down, everybody that worked there was dressed in, like, what I would discern as, like, business casual, but, like, whatever. And he was just, like, a tired old man behind a desk. And the room looked like it was, like, halfway to being, like, emptied out at any given moment. And I was just like, why the fuck is it like this? And he's like, you know. And I'm like, you know what? I respect it. It's like, I only need you for...
you know.
Like, I only need you to act as, like, a signatory to this. Like, it's fine.
I don't think I ever had to use an attorney for myself.
Well, I had to because of the mortgage thing. I also had to, kind of partially deal with one when I was younger for some stupid parental bullshit because of the fact that I was, like, in my teens and they were doing fucking legal custody shit. I hated that. I don't know.
I'd be like, I am a teenager. Why am I here?
I don't understand legal custody battle stuff with, like, parents that aren't, like, violently abusing their children. Like,
I don't either.
Like, this is gonna sound stupid, but I think it will be understood where I'm coming from with my logic. But, like, unless your kids are being hurt by one of the partners, I don't understand why people can't just be like, and then we're gonna divide them 50-50. Like, if you live in the same town, and they're going to be going to the same school, and they're gonna be able to see all of their friends, just split the time, man. Just split it 50-50. I don't understand. It's so fucking weird.
Because a lot of the times when it comes to divorce, it's the parents being like, who can we, like, how can I hurt?
Yeah, I know.
And it always comes down to the kids.
It's like, it was so fucking stupid when my parents would argue that shit against each other, and I was just like, just do it 50-50. And, like, my dad was like, no, and mom was like, no. And I'm like, you both suck so bad. It's like, you both live in the same town. Shut the fuck up. And just, like, tank it.
It's like, I can literally go to one person's house from this time to this time, and then
I can walk, like...
Yeah. That's really stupid.
In fact, I did walk between them multiple times. The walking...
We took that walk.
The walking to my dad's was how Josh broke my fucking Warhammer shit. Because I was walking there after school one day, and he was carrying the box for me and then just tucked it. Like, I don't know, like, having lived through the divorce thing, and they weren't even divorced because they weren't married, right? It's just like, I have, like, let's say it's you and I, right? Like, let's say we had a child and then we split. If we were living in the same town, I would just be like 50-50. That's it. That's all. Just, I'll find a place. And the only reason I wouldn't is, like, if I was living in some place that's, like, a fucking shithole.
Yeah.
Like, my dad's was fine. Like, it was small, but, like, he slept on the fucking couch. He had, like, a fold-out bed. I had the bedroom, and he, like, you know, made sure to give me plenty of privacy and let me do whatever I basically wanted. So, you know. But, like, it was so weird when they would fight so harsh about this shit. And I'm like, just do it 50-50 because I want to spend time with my dad, too. Like, holy shit.
I'm glad I never had to experience that.
Just toxic parent bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I look at my parents and them fighting and how they are, and I'm like, it explains so much, man.
I mean, yeah. No offense. There were days I wanted to just literally bash your skull in.
I wanted to bash your skull in. I mean...
Because back then, I wasn't a person that was, like, very confrontational. I would just suck it up.
I get it. There's times I want to bash my own skull in.
But now I'm confrontational, so, you know.
I wouldn't say that you're confrontational. I would say that you're more comfortable being in conflict. But I would say that I am actively confrontational.
Yeah, you like fighting.
I do. Like, I unironically, genuinely enjoy fighting.
I only like it if it's, like... It's funny, like, if I'm in public and I see someone being an ass, then I'm like, yeah, let's do this, right? But, like, if I'm in the comfort of my own home and I'm just trying to be cozy and I'm like, oh, why are we doing this?
Because sometimes it's fun. Like, I don't like fighting when it's not fun, but I like fighting when it is fun. The problem is that because of the fact that, like, my brain is just programmed to argue anyway, it will do it regardless.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, no, like, I look at my parents' fights and I'm just like, those are fucking stupid. And then I, like, think about the ones I had when I was, like, a teenager with my mom, and I'm like, yeah, it was the same kind of fights. She's still getting in them occasionally. Usually not with me anymore, but, like here's the thing. Here's the thing. If I'm, like, I've talked to people and they're just like, I don't understand, like, how somebody can, like, deal with their mom, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I just have a thing that I... New unlock? I know I had a couple, but I didn't know I was gonna get a new one. Oh shit! It's just a nuclear bomb. That's fucking sick. Let's go. That's so much damage that it does, actually. But, like, I've seen people be like, I don't know how, like, people put up with their moms, like, after a certain age, like, whatever. And it's like, well, you know, she got most of the fighting out of her system by the time I was, like, 24. And now it's mostly just, like, she gets angry, and then we both just kind of are like, why are you getting mad, though? But yeah, now she does mostly just get into fights with Randy.
Makes me feel bad for Randy.
I don't know if I would feel bad. Because, it's not one-sided.
Oh, it's not?
Oh, no. I mean, even with me, it wasn't one-sided. I was a teenager.
That's fair. That's fair.
Can I get 2 nuclear bombs? That'd be nice.
I'm not looking forward to working fucking 7 to 5 tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't blame you. Is there a reason that you have to work that?
No, it's because Gwen wants to ride in with me because of the storm. So what's probably gonna happen is I'm gonna work 7 to 3, and then I'm gonna go sit in my car.
Just dick around.
Yeah.
I mean, might as well. Okay, I love the nuclear bomb so very much. Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb.
Hello, beans.
Because you don't watch films, I'm guessing you've never seen that movie.
What movie?
Dr. Strangelove.
Nope.
So I love it because it's the thing of like we have like a Nazi scientist who we've got working for America, as is what happened many times, and he's just this like semi-crippled man sitting in a chair, like glasses on, hair parted weird, and he's just very, very odd. And just occasionally he has a tick where his arm tries to do the fucking sea Kyle.
Pretty funny.
And then that character got extrapolated because Hideo Kojima is like 75% made out of movies. And so there's a character in Metal Gear whose name is just Strangelove, and then they just wear glasses all the time. And it's like, you fucking nerd. I know what that's a reference to. The difference being in that he made them like borderline, if not explicitly, a lesbian. And was like, yeah, this fucking nerd is gonna be like obsessed with them, but she's gonna be like, God, this guy sucks. There's a scene in Metal Gear 5, and I feel like it's like something I need to show you because it's like the most pathetic character I've ever seen. It got more pathetic somehow. Because fucking, what's his name? Huey Emmerich in Metal Gear is like the most pathetic ass man, and he got more and more pathetic every time they talked about him. And then you get to Metal Gear 5, and they kick him off the boat, or not off the boat, off the oil rig, and it's like the reason why he hates Snake and all of them so much. And they fucking, hold on, should I take that? Yeah. They kick him off, and he's just sitting there like screaming at them about how like it should have been them, they're the terrible people, and blah 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 blah. And as he's doing that, like everybody's just looking at each other like, what the fuck is wrong with this loser? But because he's like wheelchair bound, or he's supposed to be, he had built like prosthetic exoskeletal attachments to let himself walk. And they, like, disabled it while he was on it, and they're like, yeah, you know, like, don't tip over, you're gonna just go sink into the ocean.
Aww.
But, like, he sucks so bad. And then you find out that he was, like, a huge traitor because he didn't like you guys. But then, like, even earlier in Metal Gear, they establish how fucking utterly pathetic this man is. Because his son is, fucking Hal Emmerich, which is Otacon, the guy that's like Snake's best friend. And Otacon is pathetic in that, like, you find him, and when you find him, he's like pissed himself. And it's like, Jesus Christ. And at one point he literally says, like, it's just like one of my Japanese anime. And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, Hal. But then you find out that, like, when Hal was a teenager, he, like, slept with his, fucking stepmother, and that made his dad so unstable that he killed himself in the pool. And it's just like, it's like, wow, like, Huey sucked so bad. Metal Gear plots are crazy, Desmond. What do you want? It's really funny, because it's like, oh, like, fucking Hal has, like, this crazy pull for women. Like, women love Hal Emmerich despite the fact that he is a huge fucking loser nerd. And then when he's given the opportunity to, you know, go with any of the women that he could have ever possibly wanted, he's just like, no, I'm gonna spend the rest of my life flying around in a plane with Solid Snake. Like, I am convinced that man is bisexual. And with the way that fucking Kojima's been posting lately, I'm starting to think he's bisexual. Because, like, Kojima's been posting, like, fucking Death Stranding Empreg yaoi, so...
Listen, we love a man that knows what he wants.
I mean, hey, if Kojima's bisexual, it explains a fucking lot of things, man. It explains him in Metal Gear 2 being like, make sure that Raiden's ass is modeled well because people are gonna want to look at it. It explains him having a character named Vamp who is bisexual, and the reason he's called Vamp is not because the nanomachines made him a vampire, but because he sleeps with a lot of people. So he's being called a vamp because he's, like, horny. But then, like, inverse to Vamp and Raiden, and, like, fucking Metal Gear 3 has a whole thing where you steal a guy's face. Like, you get a mask that looks like him, and then you impersonate him, and his commanding officer walks up and grabs you by the balls, and then he just squints and is like, wait, and then, like, grabs your dick harder, and he's like, who are you? Because he's sleeping with his subordinate. And it's like, he recognized you by dick size? like, there's all of this...
That means that subordinate is either hung or is so small.
I'm going with, I think, the second one, or at least he's just very familiar. Because Volgin, the guy that is grabbing the dick, is like a fucking 6'7", like, ripped Russian guy. So...
But here's the thing, I'm very familiar with, like, your penis, but I think if you lined it up with a bunch of other penises, I would not be able to tell the difference.
No, most people would not, like, here's the thing. I think even with them being, like, bigger, smaller, most people just on feel couldn't tell. Like, I think a lot of people wouldn't even be able to discern unless it was, like, truly massive size differences. Yeah. And then you'd only go, well, I know because this one's the more familiar one, right? But, like, yeah, like, he grabs him and he knows instantly, and it, like, you have to fucking deal with that whole thing. But then, meanwhile, like, Metal Gear's full of women constantly being sexualized in the most aggressive ways. So it's like, it's not even like it's... Like, you can't get mad, really, at the women having, like, constant sexualization when, at the same time, there was a gay dude who did have his dick grabbed. You will regret your words and deeds. Exactly, exactly. Like, Kojima could have just been like, I wanted to have a sexy woman and have no clothes on. But he's like, when you find out about her story, and her story is just, well, her lungs got burned when you lit her on fire, so now she breathes through her skin. Because she has, like, modifications that make her able to, like, breathe like a plant. Speaking of Smex, do you know Hornet has canonically had sex? Like the fucking woman from Hollow Knight? I mean, here's the thing. Everybody in Hollow Knight's like cute little bugs. But, like, clearly they're having children. So I'm not gonna sit there and be like, ugh, the sex. Like, that's fine. That's whatever.
At least someone is.
She's also, like, extremely old. Yeah, well, like, the Hollow Knight characters are, like, Dark Souls characters. Like, their ages are basically just a function.
So what are you saying, that old people can't fuck? That's where most STDs are.
Yeah, I love telling people about that because people hate it, and I'm just like, I don't think that that's bad though. Like, here's my extremely weird hot take about that. I think it's like kind of charming that a lot of old people are still getting crazy with it. Because, like, everybody always just thinks of their grandparents, and they think of, like, the sexless old women that don't want to fuck anymore. And it's like, I hate to tell you this, like, yeah, there's a lot of those, but that's not everyone. So, like, feel free to be happy about the fact that when you're 70, you might still want to bone down. But if you don't, that's cool too. I completely respect the idea of also just being like, maybe I don't want to fuck anymore, actually.
When you're that old, though, what do you do if, like, you don't want to bone down, but your partner does?
Well, that's the problem that a lot of relationships run into, right? Is a lot of women hit, like, 50, and then menopause kicks in, and they're like, this shit all dry. So I think it really just depends on what you and your partner kind of come to terms with, right? My sister is only just now driving home from work. What the fuck? When? What? What does your sister do for work that they're getting out this late? My grandma died of Alzheimer's when I was 9 or something. I'd only met her once, so I have no context for grandmas. That's fair. See, like, my grandma was 100% sexless grandma. Like, her
Mom's also, though, like, a sexless person, too, though.
I would also be if I was not in a relationship. More than likely.
Yeah. I would be strictly due to the fact that men suck. And women intimidate me.
See, I'm completely unintimidated. I just, like, when I'm not in a relationship, I just don't feel the need to go out and look for this shit. It's like, why would I expend the energy, right? If I'm in a relationship, it's like, well, I like the person that I'm with, so I want to do things that you would do that are involved in being in a relationship. But it's like, like, maybe once every, like, 5 years, I would find a person and be like, we doing this or what? But that's it. Accountant at a car dealership gets a bonus for finishing the previous month's work by the second workday of the month. That's fucking crazy. I would just skip out on that bonus if it meant that I'd stay there until, like, what, like, you're like an hour behind, so like 10:50. That's nuts. I mean, if you got nothing better to do.
I was gonna say, some people need that bonus. Especially with holidays coming.
Yeah.
Assuming that that was Misty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that you guys are on the older side. Oh yeah, we're we're only getting older.
Who said that?
Desmond.
Yeah, Desmond, I'm fucking 30.
Even, I mean, like, also, so is fucking Tilfin, so, you know. We're all in there.
Old.
She likes her work. Fair enough. I was gonna say can't relate, but you know. Come on, man. Give me another fucking vampire. I wanna... Yeah, there we go. I wanna suck. We're rapidly approaching our grave. I mean, some of us more rapidly than others, myself probably being the fastest. A combination of being aggressively overweight, extremely sedentary, and having massive paranoia resulting in, like, likely heart issues. Shepard's only 26, though. That's really good.
Oh, shit.
God, I love that. That's really funny. Dude, I cannot get the things that I want to do to combine shit for my life. Fine. I mean, now it doesn't really matter what I do because I've already gotten all the slots filled up, and I didn't want to do that, but such is the nature of my life. 6'7", as the kids say? Yeah, I'm 67. I have the heart of a 67-year-old. And the mind of a 67-year-old. And soon the frailty of a 67-year-old. Still taking walks, or is the weather being inhospitable? I stopped for a while because of the fact that there were 2 stabbings in my community within, like, 3 months of each other. And whilst I know that both of those were situations that seem to be domestic violence, it's really hard to, you know, convince yourself when you're mentally ill to then put yourself in a situation in which you might engage in an individual being violent towards you. So, you know. Be the one that stabs people? I would. Like, don't get me wrong, I would. But it is socially frowned upon to, you know, be walking around with a knife, usually. And when you look like me, you don't want to be, like, pulled over by a cop in the fucking wee hours of the morning and have to explain to them why you're walking around with a fucking knife. They 100% would look at me like, what is wrong with you? No one's gonna stab a man with a sword. I mean, I do have multiple swords, but here's the really stupid thing that I'm gonna say. I have a lot of swords, but they're all like fucking edgelord 2000s samurai swords that were purchased from like whatever fucking outlet type of place online 20 years ago, right? And they're not even mine. Like, they're mine, but they were bought by other people for me, kind of thing. Or inherited off my dad, because of course my dad also had one. Of course he did. But, like, the thing for me is, I would love to get, like, some real functioning swords. If I could. I don't know what the laws would be about carrying a bow.
I have some.
Yeah, but I mean, like...
I don't...
I want to get, like a real-ass arming sword.
I have, not like katana, I mean, I have, like, an old, like, Celtic sword that I got. I also have a sax. Or sea axe.
Can I not die? This would be really great.
And it is very sharp. I sharpen it at least once a month.
Rachel plays sax? No, it's a type of sword. I'm gonna die. I don't like this.
I play clarinet, though.
Actually, or just like in school?
I still remember how to. I still have my own clarinet too.
You know what they tried to make me do?
Mm.
Recorder.
Ew.
And then it just came out like... And then they were like, buy a guitar. And then I was like, I don't want to buy a guitar. And they're like, well, you have to for the music class or like another type of woodwind instrument or something. And so I got a guitar and then never played it because I hate playing guitar. I have no sense of rhythm. Why are you making me pay for fucking schooling? I'm a child, fuckers. Like...
Yeah, our music wasn't mandatory.
Ours was up until, like, 7th grade. I hated music class so fucking much, dude.
I didn't, but that's because I was in all, like, the...
I can play trumpet, Rachel can play clarinet, we can start a band. Just need a few more peeps.
Oh, yeah.
I know that Nick can play guitar. Because he used to play guitar when we would be, like, hanging out in calls sometimes.
Yeah, occasionally you were here. Ba-ding!
Telfin probably has some history of that, too. That's a very Nick thing, yeah. I saw that he was playing through Elden Ring, because he's in the DLC area, and I was just like... I should ask him to do some more Night Rain with us one of these days. But I hate imposing on people.
Well... I literally just go, Night Rain, question mark? And he goes, sure. Or he goes, not today, maybe tomorrow. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, but I'm like an asocial train wreck of a human, so...
Yeah.
I do think it's really funny that you are inadvertently the secretary. Please kill this thing. I would like to not have to fight these right now. Hydrate. I mean, I do have my water. But does Rachel... I was gonna say, does Rachel have an orange?
No. I did have banana today, though.
Speaking, wait, Neo can be like the one who organizes into actually being good since they have genuine music knowledge. Yeah, but Neo also likes music that sounds like shit, so... and speaking of games, because I can't keep track, is Rachel engaging in Satan worship tomorrow? No. She's on hiatus. Also, I think that game's over.
No, it's not. Because remember how they wanted to play last Tuesday, and I was like, no.
Okay.
It's not, but we're not playing for a while.
Gotcha.
But I have to go to bed because I have apparently a 10-hour shift I gotta do tomorrow.
Yeah, you've got work.
So I'll keep streaming and blah blah blah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm not gonna leave the call, I'm just gonna mute myself.
That's fair enough. Get a good sleep.
Good night, love you.
I love you too. Now we're on the we're on the ticker of how long until Noid suffers a complete meltdown. Anytime Rachel leaves the call to go to sleep, it is literally just like a running tally until I become like an unhinged fucking mess. The void takes us, true. The Noid void, as we call it. This month I want to actually beat some narrative games, and not necessarily, like, exclusively story-driven. But, like, I really want to play Space Marine, and I've not been playing Space Marine. So I should probably play Space Marine. And then, like, actually play... What's it called? The fucking boomer shooter. Claire Obscura is on the docket too. Yeah. December is the year-round wrap-up kind of thing. Finished shit that we've been meaning to do. Man, what if I just pulled a game from like 2 years ago that I never finished, and we just go back and played like The Legend of K, and we got exposed to more racism. The Legend of K really shocked me with, like, how fucking viscerally weird it is. It's the ideal time to go back to Legendary. Legendary, the second gig, would be a fucking insane stream. Dude, I don't remember anything about Legendary other than, like, werewolves and the game falling apart at the end. I do wonder how the channel would be towards me playing non-roguelike games. Because roguelike games seem to be getting the clicks. So, there is that. There's something there, you know? There's something. After I beat Soma, I want to go back to the Remedyverse. You should. You should definitely do that. I support this very strongly. Dude, can we make the light bulb and then use the light bulb to inflict bleed by combining it onto the bleed ability? Can we make a flashlight that makes you bleed? Can we become Alan Wake? Can we do the Alan Wake build? The flashlight that kills you? Wasn't Alan Wake getting a remaster? It did get a remaster. It is only available on Epic, I believe. But also, you don't need the remaster. The old version works completely fine. And by completely fine, I mean as well as Alan Wake has ever worked. So, you know, grain of sand. Salt, rather, I guess. Grain of salt. But we're in a desert, so sand. I also think it's cheaper. Welcome back, Misty. Let's hope that we get some healing orbs. Need to put stuff into the laundry machine's hole? That's a way to say that. Hey, washing machine, open up that hole. Get ready for me. Should also do that, but I will later tomorrow. I will also do my laundry at some point in the near future. That is correct. Oh, we're getting there. Let's see if we can do the light bleed. Made a nice ham and cheese sandwich. I think I might make gnocchi later. Feeling some gnocchi. Maybe mix some eggs in there, you know? It's an unusual dish, but I like it. I want to try to make some bread again soon. I have a fixation with making unleavened bread, so just like bread that isn't rising. I need to practice at it and get better at making some pseudo flatbreads, you know? Dude, I'm so mad. The bakery that didn't ever get back to me is like looking to hire again after closing their previous thing, and I'm like, you motherfuckers. I yearn to bake. I am a man denied his bread. Oh yeah, let's go. Flicker Hemorrhage. Deals 5 to 27 damage to every enemy on screen. Inflicts 4 stacks of bleed when hitting an enemy with 12 stacks of bleed or more. Consumes all stacks of bleed. Okay. Doesn't quite work the way... oh no, it said area of effect does the same thing too. Cool. Hey, I have a question about Pepperjack, because I don't get it. Is Pepperjack, like, just basically, like, cheddar, but it has, like, peppers in it? I feel like I don't know enough about that type of cheese. Damn, are we really doing this again? Cool. Oh, that's super good. That's super good. I don't think it's pepper that they have in it. I believe it's actual peppers. That's what I was meaning. Like, is it just like a normal cheese that has peppers inside of it? Like shavings of peppers? Yeah, let's go make more blood. Get fucked, idiot. Oh, wow, okay. It's Monterey Jack cheese, apparently. Semi-hard white American cheese made from cow's milk, known for its mild, buttery flavor, excellent melting properties. I don't think I've ever had it. Would you recommend it? Because it says mild flavor, so I'm assuming it doesn't taste fucked. You know what? That's bases. I love it. Double hemorrhage, let's go. You know what? Cool. It's like a less intense cheddar. But like cheddar's like already not really intense, right? Like, it's a low-taste cheese, in my opinion. It's smooth, if that makes sense. I think I get what you mean, but the way it's said is very funny. I'd recommend it. Alright. I'm trying to... Okay, so here's the thing. I like bland. I like mild. I don't like strong flavors. I'm very neutral about a lot of things. I want things to be, like, not crazy. And when I do apply a lot of spice to something, I want it to be, like, either low spice tolerance yield or really spicy. Probably like it then. I'll look into getting a little bit of both. I'll look into getting a little bit of both. Is this ball ever gonna go away? Jesus Christ. Holy shit. Okay, the bleeding is going crazy. But yeah, I'm looking for more cheeses. I'm a big fan of a halloumi right now. It's more of a it's more of like a cheese you fry than it is like a cheese you put in things. And I've been digging that. A lot of people have been like, if you like halloumi, you probably would like tofu. But then whenever I ask people if they think that I would like tofu, they say no. So, like, I don't know how to deal with that. It's very confusing. A lot of people also saying that I would be okay with, like, paneer. Need to head out and go to bed? That's fair enough. I hope you have a good night, Misty. Get some sleep. I don't know how much longer we're going to be going for. We might switch to a different game, we might not. What if we just pivoted into Clair Obscur and then just... we're here until 7 in the morning? I don't think I have it in me. I'm gonna be honest. I think that that's gonna be like I have to set a night and we're gonna do it. I do kind of want to try to do some scheduling. I don't know how I want to do that, but I do want to try to maybe like schedule some days again. Go back to having the calendar up, you know? Because we used to have like a Noid calendar for a little while and then we stopped doing it. It's like, I think there's some having a calendar usefulness. Gotta go back to Alan Wake 2. I think if I'm gonna go back and play Alan Wake 2 on stream, that I think I would do all of the Remedyverse. Like, make an event out of it for like a month or something like that, you know? I've been thinking actually I might do that in like May. Because I think that's when Alan Wake came out. Just do the Alan Wake-a-thon, you know? The problem is that all of those games get, like, way longer. Like, Alan Wake is, like, 6 hours, 7 hours long. And then Control is, like, 25 hours long because of all the side quests. And then fucking Alan Wake 2's in, like, the same area and has a bunch of DLC. And it's like, oh god, man. Stream Alan Wake 2 just to get it off of my hard drive, because it's the only thing that I have the Epic Launcher installed for. I have to reinstall... So I bought Jedi, because it's $11. You gonna do Quantum Break? Dude, I've actually wanted to play Quantum Break for years. I have it installed. I've watched 2 separate LPs of that game. I've forgotten a lot of it. but like I do want to do Quantum Break at some point. I do think that it would be fun to do that. It's not officially part of the Remedyverse. That needs to be said. Because technically speaking, they don't own the rights to it. But it is clearly part of the Remedyverse in the same way that, like, other stuff was. But no, I was gonna say, I bought Jedi, and I didn't realize that it requires the fucking EA account. And I'm just like, you bitch! I have to re-download the EA launcher. I've had a new computer for like 3 years, and I haven't re-downloaded the EA launcher. On the one hand, there are some good games in there. On the other hand, fucking god damn it. Like, that's where I have, like, Dragon Age Inquisition. And, like, Inquisition's not great, but I like it, and I would, like, you know, I'd boot it up again to have some fun, but, like, oh, I hate that app so fucking much, man. It's not good. I liked the other Jedi game, though, so I hope that I like this one. I think Cal's a fun character. They feel like a lot like fucking like a character that would have been in a Star Wars game like 14 years ago. So they're a little more palatable, you know? It's also really funny knowing that they're an actor that my mom watched a lot of the television show that they were in. And so I'm just like, hey mom, look at this guy that you watched a television show of, he's a Jedi now. And he seems to enjoy being Cal, so it's like, thumbs up, you know? I'm all in on actors who love being the characters that they are. It's nice. Like, obviously there's the, well, the incentive is that they make more money, but then you have Keanu Reeves who's just like, I just want to be Johnny Silverhand again.